Hello, hello, hello. This is Leo with Rosales Super Tech. This is Sunday, 5 o'clock in the evening. It's pretty late in the evening, actually. Came in to work for a couple of hours. I'm actually tired. I should be home resting, to be honest. Getting ready to get the day started. However, we're going to start being short one person. Our employee we had that was apprentice technician. His last day was yesterday, Saturday. So I don't want to fall behind with repairs. So I came to try to get a couple of repairs done today. I've already finished one. The laptop we were working on yesterday that was liquid damage due to it being urinated by their pet. We found the short circuit by following traces off schematic, leading to one of the PMICs had a bad capacitor as well as a resistor, which capacitor was a bypass capacitor. We just knocked that off. Resistor we did have to replace, which we did. And then what else did we do? And then we touched up one of the voltage regulators because it had been corroded. So basically reflowed it. And then once all that was done, we managed to get it back up and going. So it powers on now and displays and everything. So we finished one repair. We were working on the laptop. However, my SSD, not NVMe, just a standard SSD, 2.5-inch SSD. It's bad, so I had to order another one, which is going to be delivered on Tuesday. I've already called the customer, informed of that. And then I'm going to work on this PlayStation 2. Now, this is something I've never done before. It was brought up in the stream yesterday that I should do a PMAP on this PlayStation 2 because this laser is doing some weird... It's doing a weird sound, or it's acting like it's not right. It reads games, but it's not acting right. And someone mentioned do PMAP. I had never heard of PMAP before. Most of the time when we get PlayStation 2s, what we do is we just replace either the laser and or the optical drive, and it works. And it doesn't act normal in any way, shape, or form. Now, I did look into it. I looked at a couple of videos. One of them last night, and then one of them I actually still have it pulled up on my thing. And we're going to try doing a PMAP. Again, I've never done one. Never have done one, a PMAP before. So we're going to try it. I'm going to move the screws out the way. We don't want to lose those. And we're going to see how it goes for us with this the new process. We do have a UART tool here. It's the same one I use for PlayStation 5s. I've already got a COM set for it. It's COM 7. I'm hoping we don't have any issues with that. I can always change the COM if we have to. But let's go ahead and get this torn down. We need to get to the bottom side of the motherboard. So we're going to grab... Oh, I just dropped my magnetize here for the screws for me to put. So the screws for this I've already removed it. So this is basically loose right now. So that's loose. We need to get everything else loose though. Let's see how it goes. I don't know. Again, I've never done a PMAP. And now one of the things I noticed, the power supply for this one is actually, so it's at the top. It's not even at the bottom. It's not even at the bottom like it normally is. So this one's already telling me it's a bit different than your normal logic board. So, but we need to get this repair done though. This repair, we've had it now for a couple of weeks. And I need to get it done. So power supply is out. I'm going to put that aside. Okay, let me grab the screw for the fan. So I've always taken the other one apart, different models apart. Never taken this one apart. Hoping it's not too big of a difference, to be honest. All right, let me put this. I don't know if this is needed, but let me turn it around. I think I got all the screws. Okay. So far, so good. It's not that difficult. And I'm trying to take mental notes of this one goes on top of this one. We got 2 screws there. Okay. This was an EPGW. I believe that's the motherboard, EPGW. I need to know which motherboard to do. Got the wiki pulled up over here. Let's see if I'm able to pull it up. EPGW. I don't think that's it. GH005. Okay. GH005. Okay, I found it. GH005. And it looks like, see if I could. Y'all are open? No, we're not open today. We're actually closed. The doors are closed. I came in to try to get caught up with some repairs. Today, it's one of those days we do not open. Trying to get caught up with some repairs though, so that's the reason why I am here. I got a PlayStation 3. I'm assuming the laser is dying. How hard are those to replace? If you know what you're doing, they're not that difficult. It's a simple process. You just have to be cautious with the ribbon cable that is usually at the bottom. The connector that's on the board is very finicky and it can break fairly easy. And if you do break it, the cost of repair will become greater because then now we have to desolder that connector to solder a new one. So it's not that difficult to replace, so long as you're cautious. Let's just put it that way. We got retire inspired, join in late. What's wrong with this one? So this is the one we were working on yesterday, PlayStation 2. That the optical drive it reads games, however it's giving it's how do I say this? It spins and then stops and spins and stops and then it spins again and starts reading the game. So it's kind of delayed in reading the game. On top of that, it acts abnormal. It doesn't act like a normal optical drive. All right, so I'm gonna grab a marker real quick because I need to mark where I'm going to be soldering these wires to. Again, I don't know if you guys were here when I first mentioned, this is the first time me doing this process. I've never done this process before. It was mentioned to you on the stream yesterday, is doing a PMAP. Basically, with the PMAP software that someone's invented that's similar to what Sony uses, you're able to calibrate basically the laser. And that is the process that I'm going to attempt to do. It's PMAP. I've never done it before. This is the first for me. And I'm going to learn as I'm reading as well as watching the video here. Based on the stuff I saw, though, it looks like it's the same tool that we utilize for UART, for PlayStation 5, to be able to pull the logs. We need ground. We need 3 volts. We need ground. Actually, no. We need ground. We need the TX and RX, which is an input and output. And then we also need a wire 3 volts as well. Ground from there to there. And then we need 3 volts. Does this have 3 volts here? Let me see here. See, 5 volts. There is a 3 volt that's already on here. Do I need to get a 3 volts off of this as well? This is new for me, y'all. Potentiometer should do it. I've already calibrated the potentiometer. That didn't work. I've already tried the potentiometer. On top of that, PlayStation 2s they have different values. So as far as which value to use, you know what? Let me check something out real quick. Let me check something out real quick. What would be the values that we need to look for? Let me see if I can. Gotcha. Someone told me I could brick it if I mess up, so I'm assuming they were talking about that. I wouldn't say that would be considered as a brick, because that's not a brick. A brick would be it's no longer usable. So no, you can't really brick it, unless I do need to remember whether if the PlayStation 3 has a daughter board. If it has a daughter board, you have to bring the daughter board over. I think it does. So you do have to bring the daughter board over from your old optical drive to the new one, and then it'll work. All right, so looks like the ohms we're looking for is it's about 725 ohms on the DVD potentiometer side and 650 for the CD. Those are the values we're looking for. Which was the DVD and which was the CD, though? I think it should be labeled on there. All right, before I do this, let me check the pots. Let me check what we have for the pots. Let me put this back real quick. So this was worked by my employee, and that should be one of the first steps that it's done. He's no longer with us anymore, so it's up to me to try to figure a lot of the repairs now. I'm not sure what all he did, so I'm just gonna validate to see if in fact he did that. So I'm gonna put this back together real quick before we start taking this and doing a PMAP. I am going to check the potentiometer values and seeing if maybe that's exactly what it is, because you're right, that could probably be it. That could possibly be it. Let me put the power supply back because I need to open up this. Need to open up the hard drive. I'm just gonna put the screws back real quick. I'll take them back off if I need to. For now, put them back on. Okay. Let's plug in the power cable. William, quiet. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and remove the laser. Should be new. A new laser, we get them through XYAB. That is usually our supplier for this. Thanks for the help, man. You're welcome. Now, these lasers are usually original OEMs. They just refurbish them. All right, so right now what I'm going to do is just remove this. Huh. That connector just broke off. It's supposed to be in there. I didn't even pull it that hard. It just came loose. Is it fully broken? No, it's not fully broken. Okay. Managed to put it back. Alright, so this one has, again, it has two pots. Let me show you real quick. I need to figure out which one's which. Let me go into the microscope. I hope the microscope is working. And it is. Two potentiometers here. We got this one and we got that one. Looks like the one, if I look at it this way here, no, they're not right. This one would be DVD and this one would be disc. What's with all these every time? That's every single time we go live. I think I'm gonna have to disable my Twitch, honestly. Twitch gets annoying with AI, with bots. Twitch gets annoyed with bots. All right, so this is DVD here, and this is CD. And based on what I am seeing here, it looks like DVD should be. Let me see if I can pull it back up here. 725 ohms. And then CD should be 650. 725 ohms. Okay. And this is my ret probe on this side. We're only getting 15 for. I don't think that's right. We're only getting 0.15. Okay, and this is right over here, 1.27. .27 kilo ohms. I don't think that's right. Let me see DVD again. It's supposed to be 725, so it should be 0.725 ohms. We're getting 1.275. So that's not right. What about here? That's 9. This is CD here. So CD should be 650 and I'm getting 975. So that's a bit too high. Let me grab. Uh-oh. That could possibly be it. We'll see. Let me reduce it just a tad bit. Nope, that's not gonna work. It's too pointy. All right, so that's 720 ohms. Let me bring it back just a tad bit. Just a tad bit. Need to be at the 650 range. It's 770. I'm going up instead of going down. Okay. All right, this 640, so it went down. Let me bring it back up a little bit. And this is 689. It's a little bit too much. It's like I just need to give it a little love tap. 659, just a little bit less. Oh, 630. I went way too much. $642. I think I probably did it too much right there. 663. Yep. I think that probably did it. 656. Just a little bit. Oh. $643. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get better than that because it either goes beyond 650 or below it. It never really gets 645. $661. And that's just barely moving it. It is 659. think I prefer it being a little bit below it versus above it. 657. We're getting there. Still a 657. I'm trying to just barely tap it. $654. I think we'll leave it there. All right, so for the DVD section, it is supposed to be at 725. This one's currently sitting at 1.27 kilo ohms. That's way too high, actually. So let's bring that over to the right. It's still too high. All right, so we're at 712 right now. We need to get 725. So now we can raise it up just a tad bit. $717. $730. We're off by a little bit, just a little bit. $727. Okay, let's try it out. Let's see if maybe that's what it was. I don't know if in fact that's what it's going to be, y'all. But we're going to try it out. Ace Console Repairs. Machina says this is where the cool cats are hanging out. So here I am. Appreciate you stopping by, Mr. Ace. Thank you for stopping by, honestly. I wish this is where the cool cats are hanging out, and this is where the nerdy cats are hanging out. I was never part of the cool cats. I was part of the nerdies, the nerds. Revenge of the Nerds. I'm okay with being a nerd, though. I was always excluded from being part of the cool cats. I always ended up at the nerd table. I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the connector. Let's go ahead and put this back. PMAP time. I am gonna, if this doesn't work, it will be PMAP time. I've never done it before. I'll be honest with you guys. I have never done PMAP. Yesterday, I forgot who it was. I think it was 8-Bit. Mentioned PMAP. I had never heard of PMAP or even done PMAP on the PlayStation 2. So if this does not work, with you guys' help, I can certainly try doing PMAP. I've never done PMAP before. This would be my first time ever doing it. If this doesn't work, that is, of course. You gotta be cool cats. Nerds are the ones making the big bucks as adults. Not necessarily. Some nerds just they stay to themselves. Or at least I like to think that way. Check something out real quick. Unplug this. Need to make sure that this here is, it's not. There we go. All right, let's see. Will this work? Yes, PMAP is incoming if this does not work. Cool. Let me go ahead and test real quick. Let's see if it behaves accordingly. If not, PMAP time. Let me grab some games. Please work. Please work. I want this thing to work. This customer's been waiting for about a week and a half or so. And I would love to get this one out. I just needed to behave accordingly. Or a trainer, what? Makina, Roman, Eutherit, Makina. Who's Makina? Lacrimose and through or a trainer. I think you've lost me in this conversation. It's okay though. Let's go ahead and connect this. I'll put this game in there. Let's see if it'll read accordingly, and I need it for it to behave as well. All right, so it's spinning, which is good. It didn't sound weird like it did before. Before it sounded weird. It did not sound weird this time. But is it going to read? That's the question. Oh, it is reading. I think the problem was the pots were, whomever calibrated those, calibrated them way too high. It's acting normal now. Let me grab a controller.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me.
Yep, it's acting normal. It is not doing that odd behavior it was doing yesterday. Looks like
Now there is no hope.
And Kratos cast himself from the highest mountain in all of Greece.
Let me try the blue. Let me try the blue. This one's a dual disc. This is a dual disc. Let me try the red, not the red, the blue, which is this one here. Colored blue disc for the PlayStation 2. It was acting weird more so for that one yesterday. Let's see if it'll read it. It's trying to spin. That's DVDs and now the best CDs. Now do test CDs. Test Blu-ray as well. I don't know if I have a Blu-ray disc. Actually, I think I do. Let me go grab one while I let this thing spin.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
That looks ugly though. It is plain, but that looks ugly. It's not doing the weird sounds it was doing yesterday. But that was ugly. I have a buzz down.
I know y'all know.
There's a buzz sound coming across from this thing. There's some sound coming across from the TV, I think. Do you still hear a buzz out? You turn off the PlayStation. Do y'all still hear it? It's so loud. Okay. Not sure where the buzz sound's coming from. I'm trying to look at my audio real quick. It's gone? Oh, it's coming from the PlayStation 2 then. So the buzz sound's coming from the PlayStation 2. All right, I'm looking at my audio real quick to see where this buzz sound potentially is coming from. I'm not too sure. Maybe if I just completely mute the sound for the PlayStation, you guys won't hear it. I do know that I saw it looking weird after I put that game in there though. All right, put that game back in there again. I don't know if you guys are going to hear that buzz on. I went ahead and just muted the PlayStation altogether. Hopefully it doesn't come across. All right, so it's looking better after I did the reset on it. All right, so the disk drive is not making weird sounds. It's sounds normal, and it's acting normal. And as you can see, it's playing this game as well. Before it would not even play this game. So let me try a DVD now. A Blu-ray DVD, that is. We're going to do the Lone Star Survivor. Are you guys still hearing that sound? All right, started to spin. It should go now if it reads it. Nope, it's not reading it. It's trying to, but I don't think it's going to read it. Is it a Blu-ray or regular DVD? I think it's a regular DVD, not Blu-ray. I don't remember if it's Blu-ray. I know it says DVD and CD, but I don't know if it's a Blu-ray. PBAP time. Seriously, I have to confess something. Go ahead and confess, Mr. Ace. Go ahead and confess. I don't think it plays Blu-rays. I think it's regular DVD. I just put a regular DVD. I read it. I don't think it plays Blu-rays, which is why I took the Blu-ray off. But it looks like it's reading the regular DVD, which I can go in there and select yes. Change parental control to level 8. Yes, that's fine. Oh, they got this thing password protected. I can't watch it if I want to. It's not going to allow me to play it. It's all right. It read it though, because or else it wouldn't have shown. I don't think Blu-rays would be, but it's reading. It's acting normal. I don't think it's. So no, unfortunately, there's not gonna be no PMAP. It's not gonna be any PMAP. That would have taken quite a bit of time. Although, I do have several PlayStations of mine that I probably need to practice on. It's something I definitely want to learn how to do, but I don't think this one requires that, to be honest, because this one's now reading normal. It's not acting. The laser is new. We did replace the laser on this one, but it is playing normally. So this customer's device, after replacement of the laser and recalibrating it, although it's a new laser, it came in calibrated incorrectly. I have a jailbroken PlayStation 3 that I would use if I wanted to play PS2 games. That means you have a backwards compatible PlayStation 3. I like to use somewhat, but not PlayStation 2. Don't play Blu-ray. Oh man, that's hilarious. It's all right. You were testing my knowledge base. I never test DVDs in the PlayStation 2. And the PlayStation 2s, whenever I get these repairs, we never, or at least I've never done the whole PMAP at all. I've always just replaced the laser. And usually when I get the laser through Mobile Centrics, they already come pre-calibrated, and that tends to work for me. I've done the calibration where we go in there and calibrate the potentiometers for DVD and CD, and that also tends to work just like it did this one. Now this one, when I was doing it yesterday, my employee had already tried it before, so I had assumed that he had already tried calibrating the potentiometers as well as replacing the actual laser itself. So I didn't think about just rechecking his work, which is why. Now, as far as PMAP, I've never done that before. Up until yesterday when 8-Bit mentioned it, I had never heard of PMAP at all on the PlayStation 2. But that is a skill set and knowledge I definitely would like to learn, and I will learn it when the time comes, of course. As far as what DVD types this thing takes, the 3 discs we usually try, just so y'all are aware. Usually I try the black disc, which is the PlayStation 1. I try the blue disc for the PlayStation 2. I try the dual disc, and then of course single disc. Those are usually the 4 types of discs we try when testing these, which we will test these with the other disc. I have the other disc up front. So we try DVD though, which is something I never really do. But I appreciate you checking my knowledge though. There's still a lot I need to learn. There is still a lot I need to learn on the PlayStation 2 side of things. Making sure I'm not missing any screws. I have 4 extra screws here, and I do not remember where they went to. Let me open this back up, make sure they didn't go inside. I think we took apart 2 PlayStations yesterday, removing the laser. I must have left some of the screws from that other PlayStation 2 on this one, but I don't know if in fact that is in fact what happened. So I'm just gonna check, make sure I didn't miss any screws from in here. No, there's 2 screws here. I already put those back on. How much to clean a PlayStation 5? We charge $120 on a PlayStation 5 cleaning, so long as it's not bug infested. If it's bug infested, we do charge an additional fee of $50. You can see why the employee is no longer with us. That's not the reason why he's not with us. He was actually a pretty good employee. He was still learning. He was an apprentice as well. He's no longer with us because he's going to college. And he found a new job that's closer to where he is going to be. So he's no longer with us because of that. He's got a new position somewhere else. And he's going to, he's going to be over at college. He's still young. He's only, I think he was 18 or 19. Roughly around there. I didn't fire him or anything like that. It's just that he, he's going to school. Otherwise, he was actually a pretty good employee. He did mess up a few times, and I did get on to him for that, but who doesn't ever mess up? And we're not perfect in any way, shape, or form. We try not to mess up. And if someone says they don't mess up, they're lying. If someone says they don't mess up, that's how you know they are lying, because someone at some point in time messes up. Make sure this is set to 2. I honestly thought this repair was going to take me a lot longer. But no, it's not going to take me a lot longer. Now, yesterday I was working on a PlayStation 5 that for the love of me, I could not figure out. I could not figure out what was wrong with it. We did pull UART. We pulled UART. UART was telling us that the issue was that the thermistor sensor, either line or rail, it's bad, or a faulty Southbridge chip. I replaced the Southbridge chip as well as the thermistor sensor and the related components to the thermistor sensor, and still the PlayStation 5 kept beeping 3 times as if it's overheating. Liquid metal, of course, it's been reapplied. The heatsink itself was cleaned, reapplied as well. There is no what is it called? I forgot. Oh, yeah. My brain is not working with me today. Oxidation on either of the APU or the heatsink. So there's no oxidation on APU or heatsink. The liquid metal, it's not crystallized. You know how sometimes the liquid metal tends to crystallize on the actual, I'm sure you guys have worked on it before or probably seen it. It gets crystallized on the heatsink where it becomes like hard and stuff. So it's not crystallized. We did clean, make sure there's no oxidation on the heatsink as well as the APU. Reapplied liquid metal, and yet it still beeps 3 times. Made sure that the heatsink itself, it's not broken off, because sometimes it could be that the heatsink, it's broken from the actual chassis itself. You know how it's actually welded on. So made sure that that's not the case, that it's not broken off. And the PlayStation 5 still keeps beeping 3 times. So as far as what's causing that, when I pull UART, what it tells me, I'm gonna show you exactly what I copied the error log. Let me show you real quick. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I still have the PlayStation 5 in progress because I'm not giving up on. I really want to figure out what's going on, and maybe some of you guys are more skilled. Okay, you're gonna have to wait until we leave, baby boy. All right, let me show you exactly what the error code I was seeing yesterday. Okay, so this is the error code we were getting yesterday. 808, thermal shutdown, local sensor 2, problem with the temperature sensor on the LED board. So the LED board, I went ahead and completely unplugged the ribbon cable. It still did the same thing though. It says on here, check at the flex cable for the LED board. So what I did, I just went ahead and unplugged it all together. If an error happens without the flex cable, the LED board connected, the Southbridge is probably the faulty, which we went ahead and replaced. The Southbridge chip, thinking maybe that's what it was. We took an educated guess based off of this error code, and it still did the same thing. So then I followed the thermistor 2 LED component, which is the chip that's above the Southbridge chip, near the firmware chip, and replaced that as well as the related components, and it still did the same thing. So I am unsure as to what else it could be causing this, but if someone potentially knows or could direct me into the right path, I would appreciate it, of course, because I personally don't know. Let me pull up the, you better not get any candy from back there. Get your butt back in that room. Nope. Back in that room. Back in the room, because I don't believe you. I don't believe you, and I know you. That's why. So get back to that room. All right, let me pull up this board view real quick for the PlayStation 5. Okay, it's okay to mess up with your own console. I would be upset if I messed up on a customer's console. I would agree with you with that. Mess ups are not okay to happen on a customer's device at all. And if you do mess up, a solution better be found. So that's actually my motto there as well. It's the retimer chip on the PlayStation 5. So that retimer chip can cause that as well, the 3 beeps. How much? I've never heard of a retimer chip causing that though, causing the 3 beeps. And the error code again, it's the error code. It says thermistor to LED. That's what the UART it's given me. So when I look that up, it doesn't point out to it being the retimer. Have you had a PlayStation 5 that does the 3 beeps and it ends up being that it's the retimer? I'll replace it right now and see if in fact that's what it is. But I don't think it's the retimer. And this one's a bit of an odd one. I've never had one come in with those symptoms where it beeps 3 times and shuts. Usually those 3 beeps wouldn't tell that it's overheating. But in this case, for this one, it's a temperature sensor, which I did replace. FYI, I'm gonna show you here real quick what I'm seeing in the schematics. So this here is the schematics that I am actually viewing. And the temperature sensor, or at least the thermistor temp 2, this is that chip right there. So this chip here is the thermistor, which what I did is 2 of these is ground. So that's ground. Both of these are ground. And I followed this here. And this leads me to these 2 components. And I went ahead and replaced these 2 components. And also these 2 as well. Because this one leads to that and the south bridge. So all of those were replaced. And it still kept doing the same thing. So I'm at a loss as to what else could be causing the 3 beeps. Yes, I had a 3 beeps and replaced the retimer chip and fixed. All right, let's try that. Let me go ahead and grab it real quick. Let me go ahead and grab it. We're gonna replace the retimer and we're gonna test that out. We're gonna test that theory. We are going to test that theory. This one's done. I'm gonna close out the ticket after we complete testing with the other 2 discs. But I'm gonna put that aside for now. Let me go ahead and grab it. Now let's replace the retimer chip. Alrighty. This is the PlayStation 5 that's in question. I'm going to plug in the power cable. And I'm going to plug it in. And that way you can hear the 3 beeps. I'm going to put the microphone right there. It turns on. I don't have the HDMI plugged in. It does display briefly and then shuts down. Those are the 3 beeps I'm talking about. So usually, when I hear the 3 beeps, there's 2, in my experience, the 3 beeps, the only 3 beeps I've ever heard is whenever we got a 3.3 volt short because someone's done some sort of long screw damage to this ribbon cable here, and the 3.3 volts, 3.3 rail gets short circuit. It can do those 3 beeps, or if the firmware chip gets corrupted, and that usually happens as soon as you plug it in. You'll hear the 3 beeps, D, 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 you know, as soon as it's plugged in. Those are the only 2 instances I've ever come across that the 3 beeps, and I think the only 3rd instance I've ever heard it is when either the heat sink breaks or the liquid metal, it's no longer making contact, or the APU is no longer making contact with the APU, which then it overheats, and then you'll hear 3 beeps as well because it's overheating. But those are the only times I've ever heard the three beeps. I haven't heard the 3 beeps outside of that. Now this console was bug infested, so I'm gonna put my gloves on because there's still feces all over this board. Maybe the BIOS. If it were, it wouldn't even power on. It tries to power on. It actually tries to power on. Like it actually shows a display. I'm gonna show you real quick. Let me get this out the way. Watch, you'll see. You'll see it in the screen right now. It actually tries to display. If it's BIOS, it wouldn't even try to display at all. You'll see it try to come on. See, it's actually trying to display, and then it shuts off. So I don't believe it's the actual BIOS chip because of that. Because if it were the BIOS, it wouldn't even try to come on at all. I'm seriously gonna go ahead and just try to replace this retimer. Well, not try. I am gonna replace this retimer. And we're gonna see if maybe that is the reason why this thing is doing the 3 beeps. And if it is, wow, that would be something new for me, to be honest. That would be something new for me. That would be something new for me. Something new for me. Stay. Don't move. All right. Let's go ahead and go into scout mode. Let's remove this Panasonic retimer chip. And let's solder a new one on. Let me get this out the way. I was using this yesterday to inject some voltage on the laptop. I don't need it today. All it's doing, it's in the way. This Panasonic chip looks good, to be honest. I don't think this is going to be the problem, but I'll try anything now, to be honest, because this one's bugging me, and I want to learn as to what's causing this, because it's one of those things that it's bugging me. I literally dreamt about it yesterday, trying to figure out what's causing this thing to 3. What else can cause it? besides the thermal sensor, which we did replace, and it still didn't fix it. Oh. I'm assuming you checked the MOSFETs. Which MOSFETs are you referencing? Are the MOSFETs on the motherboard? Yes. The 12 volt MOSFETs? Yeah, those have already been checked. Or MOSFETs for the 12 volts? You're talking about the power rails, standby power rails for 12 volts? Are those the MOSFETs you're referencing? I've checked every component. I've checked, as far as what we've checked so far, we've checked all the diodes, we've checked fuses, we've checked capacitors values based on the values shown on the schematics. And of course, we also checked the thermistor. Although we were getting correct values, we went ahead and still replaced it. Maybe because, you know, there's been times where a component could show it being good, but it could possibly be bad. So I went ahead and used the donor board and still replaced it. Alrighty, let me grab a new retimer. Yes, they've been tested. They have been tested. Alright, make sure this is in the right orientation. Uh-oh. That's not good. It's a good thing I didn't knock off any components. That would have sucked. That, you know what? That's getting annoying. Not even pressing on it hard. All right, struggled a little bit, but we got it. I'm going to clean around it real quick. Not on the chip exactly just yet. I would hate for it to go into thermal shock, so I'm going to let it cool off a little bit before we clean it up. That should be good. All right, let me check my pins to make sure they're good. Um, they're not the greatest. Yeah, let me go ahead and tin some of these up. Actually, I don't like the way they look. Those last two pins are not good. I don't like the way they look. Okay. Do one more on this side. Okay, everything's good except for two pins. These two pins over here. Two pins at the very edge. They're not to my liking. There we go. Got it. We got it. Alrighty. let's go ahead and check our pins and our work real quick. Good. Good. Move the fume extractor out of the way. Good. And good. All right. Retimer chip's been replaced. Let's reapply this liquid metal again. I'd be happy if the retimer is the reason why this thing is beeping 3 times. I've never had a retimer cause a PlayStation 5 to beep 3 times. And I've been doing this now since 2019. I think 2020 is when I started working on the PlayStation 5 though. And I've never had it where a retimer would cause it to beep 3 times. But hey, I may have probably come across an issue that's potentially rare. It doesn't happen all the time, and when it does, people just call them off and give up on it. But I don't like to give up. I like to try to figure it out. Why? I want to know why. What's causing it? There has to be a reason behind it's doing something. Why is it doing it? I see the error code. It doesn't really, it does explain, but it ended up not being the actual reason though. The thermistor, the sensor. We replaced it and it still keeps doing the same thing. Thought I heard somebody trying to open the door. This is reapplying the liquid metal, by the way. I usually clean it with some IPA, isopropyl alcohol, which removes any sort of oxidation buildup that could be there. This is the 3rd time it's been done to this one. And I do it every single time I have to remove the motherboard. So, let's see if in fact that's what it was. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Sorry, I missed some of you guys' comments. Y'all got Nintendo SPs? Yes, we do. We do have some Game Boy Advance SPs. Hi, fam. I got my HDMI port repaired on my PlayStation 5. It worked fine for a few weeks, but went back to buffering again. Should I try new HDMI cord or look at getting it repaired again? When you say buffering, what exactly do you mean by buffering? Meaning that it's no longer displaying to your TV? Did you get it repaired through us? If so, you do have we do offer a I believe it's a 60-day warranty. But we also like to just look at our work to make sure that it's not something that we did. If it is, we'll rectify that. However, if there's any signs of potential misuse, any physical damage of any sort, of course, like the HDMI port being physically broken, of course, that would void the warranty. So, to be honest, if you brought it into us and we did the repair, it's best if you just bring it to us so we can validate. All right, moment of truth, y'all. And I'm going to plug in the HDMI. Just in case. Just in case that was the cause, the reason. All right, plugging it in. Light. It's on. I went to a white light. Still did the 3 beeps, y'all. So in this scenario, it's not the retimer. I don't see why the BIOS chip would be the cause, though. BIOS chip, it's one of those where having to replace it, get the programming for it, and flash it. I hate having to do that. And I don't think that's going to be it either. I'm at a loss with this one, y'all. I am at a loss with this one. I don't know what else it can be. And the error code is probably the same. Does it go into safe mode? Yeah, it goes into safe mode because of the number of times that it's shut down abruptly. Well, I don't know if it's exactly safe mode. It wants you to click the PlayStation button on the controller, and as soon as you get to that screen, it's when it just shuts off. It does the 3 beeps. What did UART say? It's saying the exact error message it gets from UART. It's 808 D0002 thermal shutdown, local sensor 2, problem with the temperature sensor on the LED board, which would be this one here. But it does that even with that being plugged in. So I unplug this, which is the LED board that it's referencing. I unplug it, and it says check the flex cable on the board. If there happens without the flex cable connected to the south bridge, the south bridge is probably the fault. I did replace the south bridge chip yesterday already, and it still did the same thing. So then I'll look for the thermistor 2 LED, which the thermistor 2 LED is actually the thermistor 2 LED. It's actually the this chip here, which this is the Southbridge, by the way. That's the Southbridge chip. This is the BIOS chip, and this is the thermistor. So this here is a thermistor, which I went ahead and replaced this, as well as these components that are near it, because when I clicked on this, it would show as this being associated with net 1530, and these two associated with net 1529. So I replaced this component and these 4 components, and of course the South Bridge, which is this one here. So yeah, I don't know if did you get to see exactly? I don't know if you got to see, but this is the thermistor here, and these 4 components, and that's the South Bridge. Yeah, like I said, I'm at a loss with this one. This one, it's one of those where I've never had it happen. It beeps 3 times. It's not right away. Usually, as soon as you plug it in, and it beeps 3 times, it's for 2 reasons. Again, it could be that the 3.3 volt short on the LED board. But sometimes it's due to long screw damage, because usually that's what ends up happening. Someone does a long screw damage to the LED, the flex cable, and it does the 3 beeps. Or it could be that it's corrupted. BIOS is corrupted. You go in there, you read BIOS, you clear it, and that resolves the issue. Or you can flash it. Or secondly, it could be that it's overheating. When it overheats, it does the 3 beeps, and it does it after a period of time. This one, as soon as it gets to that initial screen, it beeps 3 times and shuts down. So it could possibly be that it is the BIOS chip. Now the tool that we use for UART, does that also capture? Does it capture the one that was shared from you, Rosie Rose? Does it capture the firmware? Can you copy it and also paste the new one into? I don't know if it does. Let me see. Tools. Does it have it? I don't think it does. It does not. It doesn't have it. No, I just went in there to look. It does not have it. I'm gonna look at the coders software to see if it has it. I don't remember if it does. It does not. I don't have a tool right now to program. I haven't had one to program in a minute, so I don't have one. See, does the coder have one though? Let me go to his Discord. He probably does. I just haven't downloaded it. I think it's called NOR modifier. EDM 020, can I do this one? Okay. I'm wondering if the coder got a new one. Let me see here, NOR modifier. NOR mod. It hasn't been updated since like 2024. All right, I'm gonna have to look to see what NOR tool I can find. I'm gonna have to find the NOR modifier so that I can desolder the. I am gonna try doing it, y'all. Desolder the firmware chip from it. Get one from a. You know what? What if I get one from a donor board? It won't be the same serial though. But to test, at least to test to see if that's what it is. It'll still work. It probably won't read the optical drive. Is this a digital or disk drive? This is a digital. That could be a problem because I think the ones I have are. I'm trying to think here, y'all. I'm sorry. Trying to think outside the box. What else can I do here? I don't know what else to do. I'm thinking I'm gonna go look for an EDM0, which I have a board there, EDM020. I don't remember if it was digital or disc though. Both of these were disc editions. Well, and this one's not digital. So these ones have the fuses on the F5401, F5402. So these will not work. I will need a digital version of the EDM020 board in order for that to work. Let me see, do I have a dump for that? Check something out real quick. I do not have a dump for the EDM020. Do I have it in my Discord, maybe? No, I was saving them at some point. I do not. All right, let me look to see if maybe the people are on the Facebook group. Maybe somebody has it. No, let me see if I can go find a digital board. I have to have one. I have to have a PlayStation 5 digital that I can just use. EDM 010. Zero to zero, but it's a disc edition. Zero to zero, it is. Ooh, found one. Digital. Awesome. Okay, I got one. I make sure it's actual 1-1 and not one that we remove. Yep, this is digital. EDM 020. Dump. Let me go ahead and grab this one. Let me see if I can save this dump real quick. I'm gonna use this firmware chip, and I'm gonna save this, and then we're gonna change the serial number, and then. Oh, you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing. What's the issue here? PlayStation 5. It's the 3 beeps we were working on yesterday. PlayStation 5 3 beeps. It's not overheating, none of that. It's just it beeps 3 times after a few seconds. We replace retimer chip. We've replaced the thermistor because that's what UART says the issue is. So we replaced the thermistor _2, which is near the Southbridge chip. We replaced the components that are associated with the thermistor sensor and still did not resolve the issue. We did replace also the Southbridge chip itself and still got the same symptoms. So right now, people mentioned that it's probably BIOS. So I'm going to go ahead and get the firmware chip off of this. This is the donor board, by the way. I don't have a dump for EDM 020. So I'm going to use this chip real quick to save this dump from it, this bin file. Come on. That is if I don't fry this damn chip. Wow. Kidding me, bro? Solder in this damn chip doesn't melt. It ain't melting. What the hell? Let me add some leaded solder to this thing, maybe. Oh, wake up. That shit moved, but why is this thing not moving? Try new front I/O board. Well, the thing is, I've unplugged it. So I've already unplugged the I/O board entirely together. It should power on. So I just unplugged the ribbon cable, and that board's completely removed, and it still did the same thing. So yeah, the LED cable, that's what the error code says. It's potentially it being the LED board or the ribbon cable, the flex cable, which I went ahead and just unplugged it all together, and it still did the 3 beeps. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm using this is a digital console, so I don't have the EDM020 dump files, the bin files for that, so I'm gonna make sure I save this one first, and then I'm gonna remove the customer, save those files in the event that I end up messing that up altogether. I'm just looking for the attachment right now so I can read the BIOS. I haven't had the need to read BIOS, and I don't have the tool for it. I used to use a long time ago, of course, the name we don't mention anymore, B whatever person's tool, and I used that for a very long time. And then for a minute there, I was at a loss. I'm like, what tool am I going to use? Because there's no one else making the tool, and I could probably try to develop one, but I don't have time to be doing. I'm trying to develop my own website. I'm trying to develop my own point of sale. I don't have time to be developing anything else right now. So where is my fan? With it. Oh, here it is. I think I found it. Yep. See if I can remember which was pin number 1. I don't remember which was pin number 1. I haven't had the need to use this in a minute. Let's see here. I think it'll be top right, to be honest. Yeah, it'll be top right. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this inside. Let me show you here real quick how I'm putting this. Nope. Pin number 1 would be top corner. Making sure these are making contact. Okay. Let me go ahead and open up my tool now, XGen. I was actually going to visit your business. Need to check, y'all. Y'all feel free to stop by anytime. Hey, I got an HDMI port repair. Okay, let me see the buffering again. Should I try new HDMI cord or look? It's kind of hard to answer without actually completing a diagnostics on your PlayStation 5. Did you, excuse me, did you get the HDMI repair through us, or did you go through a different shop? Who did you get it repaired through, if you don't mind me asking? This is a W25. 25Q16. Yep, that's what it is. Let me clear it. All right, so right now what we're trying to do is trying to read this bin file. Whether if this is going to work, I don't know. We're going to try right now either way. We're going to try reading it real quick. I'm not getting any errors at the moment. There is an error with pin number 3. It's not being detected. See here, is it making contact? Let's try this again. Bin found. Bin pins found. Cancel, retry, ignore, continue. Okay, it's reading all the pins, and we got the dump file. That's good. All right, now we got the dump file. Let me save this real quick. So let me create a folder. I think I already have one. Firmware backup. Oh, I did have one for the EDM020. But the one I had was for a disk version. I don't have one. Let me create a folder here real quick. EDM020, which is 1115-B. B is for digital. And now we're going to save it there. We're going to save it. Save this binary bin file in firmware, where are you at? Okay. Okay. file is. File is saved. Okay, cool. All right, so what I'm going to do now, since we've got this file saved, I'm going to go ahead and now put that aside and let me remove the firmware chip from the customer's device. Let me retouch these pins because I don't want to add too much heat to this. So I'm going to touch them up with some leaded solder. I'm running out of flux here. Alrighty, and we're going to read this one as well. This is the customer's bin file. And I would hate to completely lose this, so I am going to clear the existing bin. I've already saved it, so clean up buffers. Let's go ahead and save this bin file as well. This is the customers. Okay. Let's try to read. Cool. You got it. Let me create another folder. Now this is for the customer. Yes, baby. Okay, well, you're gonna have to wait till we leave. Till we leave. Until we leave. It'll be maybe another 30 minutes, okay? Yeah, move. I don't want, you don't have your shoes on. I don't want to run over your feet with, where are the wheels? Okay. Let's go ahead and back this up. Created a folder for it. And save. Okay, that is saved. So we're going to put his there. I'm going to put this other one back because we're going to program this one. All right, so for this other one, though, we're going to use a different tool. I don't know if it still works. I've not used it in a minute. It's called the norm modifier, which was created by what's his name? The coder. And we're going to see if it works. I don't know if it does. I don't know if it does. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna get the dump file. The buffering again. It's not liking the file. Why? Why doesn't it like the file? Oh, I see. It does not like Ben to be capitalized. It has to be lowercase in order for it to accept it. All right, serial number for this PlayStation. It is. Okay. And this is a CFI 115B. I believe that's what it is. CFI. Yep, 115B. Does he not have the CFI one? We see A, but I don't see 15B. I see 1015B. Come on, we need to add that. He hasn't added that variant. CFI 115B. It's not good. That is not good. It pulls it up as a variant, but I'm not seeing it as one. All right. Let's save this new dump file. We're gonna push it to this chip here. Or we're gonna save it and then push it to that chip. And we're going to save it in the digital. actually in the customer's file. Where are you? There you are. Let's create a ticket, create a new folder, updated file with new band file. Okay. Save. Okay, I got new file created, and make sure it's there. It is. And now I'm going to go ahead and push the new file to this chip here. Someone's trying to open the door. We're not open today, y'all. I'm sorry. But we are not open on Sunday. We're not open on Sunday, y'all. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're trying to get in right now, but we're not available on Sundays, y'all. I'm sorry. For those of you trying to come in on a Sunday, I'm sorry, y'all. Sunday is my catch-up day. I try to get caught up. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and program this. Now the file I'm going to be pushing to it. And before I do that, let me make sure I'm able to read it. Yep, I'm able to pass. And it read it just fine. Cool. Let's clear this out. I am going to go ahead and load a file. File I'm going to load is this one here. Load it. There it is. Let's write this file to this. I've already saved it. The customer's BIOS chip is over here, so I'm not touching the customer's BIOS chip. Although I did program this one with the serial number now, and I'm going to solder that one on to the customer. So let's program this. Do I want to beep? No, I do not want to beep. Let's program it. And then we're going to solder this new BIOS chip to the PlayStation 5. And then we're going to test to see if it still does the 3 beeps. All right, succeeded. Looks like it's done. Back out. This should be done. And then we're going to solder this one on to the customer's motherboard. I know, it's a lot of steps. It's a lot of steps. Unfortunately, this is something that's a bit complicated to fully explain what's going on here. But basically what I'm doing is I grabbed a chip from another motherboard, programmed that chip with the customer serial and the dump it originally had. So it has the bin file that this chip originally had, but with the updated serial number that belongs to this console. It is digital, so it shouldn't be any problems. And let's go ahead and just solder this thing on. All right. Let me just grab a little bit more flux to this. Actually, this thing is out of flux. I'm gonna grab another syringe with flux. Alrighty, and let's clean our mess. Moment of truth. What do y'all think? Y'all think this thing's still gonna keep doing the same thing? I don't know. I don't even know if it's gonna power on, to be honest, but we are about to find out. We are about to find out. This is still hot in this area. I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit. I'm gonna let this cool off a little bit, y'all. I think it should be fine. All right, let's see what it does now. What do y'all think is gonna happen? My MAC address is showing? Where? Where's my MAC address showing? Do you find yourself going down the rabbit hole on these difficult repairs? Yes. I do find myself going down the rabbit hole a lot of the time, actually. But this is one where I feel like I want to figure out why. Why is it that it's beeping 3 times? We can see the UART log. The UART log itself, it says. The MAC address you saw wasn't mine, by the way. If you're talking about the MAC address on the Nord chip, it's not my MAC address. It's actually the MAC address to this PlayStation 5, or not to this one, but to the donor board. That's the MAC address you saw. It's not the one that belongs to my PC, if that's the one you're referencing. But let's go ahead and try it now. I don't know what it's going to do, but we're about to find out right now. About to find out right now. Okay, it's powering on, so you can see right there. Blue light. Still did the same thing, even with the BIOS chip being replaced. A new dump file from the donor board, not the one from the customer's device. Still did the same thing. Let me see. Did it even attempt to display though? Usually I would see some sort of a splash screen at trying to go into. Yep, there it is. That's the one I'm talking about. So it's not the BIOS chip either, y'all. It's not the retimer, it's not the BIOS. I don't know what it is. It's not the actual thermistor chip because we replaced it along with the 4 components that are associated with it. It's not the Southbridge chip. We also replaced that as well. I don't know what it can be, and I've already done a visual inspection on this board, and everything else looks good. I've already done standby voltages. Those are good. MOSFETs, they've already been validated. Fuses have been validated. Coils, capacitors, just to make sure we don't have any short circuit somewhere. I don't know. I don't know on this one. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. It's 7 o'clock. My little boy keeps telling me that he's hungry. We've been here since about 3-ish. So it's been about 4 hours or so. We did 2 repairs at least that we were able to get caught up on. We weren't able to get this one. I think this one, I think I'm going to end up having to call it, though, on this one because I've already spent too much time on this one. Good thing is today is not a day where we get a lot of repairs in. It's a day that we're normally closed. So I'm spending some time on this on my day off usually to try to figure it out. And I did try to figure it out. It's just one of those that we were not able to take care of for the customer. So with that said, y'all, we tried everything that I possibly can logically as to what it could be the cause. We replaced BIOS. We replaced the Southbridge chip. We replaced the thermistor. We replaced the dedicated components that go to the thermistor _2, which is what UART was saying was potentially the issue. We did also remove this. Usually if you remove this ribbon cable here and you try it, and let me see here. I'm going to remove that. See if it still does the 3 beeps. We won't see a light on because we've got that ribbon cable disconnected. But will we? Yeah, we still heard the 3 beeps though. So this is disconnected, which should remove, if this is short circuit, to remove that from it. So that on its own. What else did we do? I'm just documenting this right now in my mind, because I'm gonna put all that into the ticket. We still do charge a repair attempt on this because of the time we spent. But yeah, we tried quite a bit, and you can't really say that we didn't try this. And we've tried just about everything that it can possibly be, and it still does the 3 beeps. It's not overheating. Liquid metal was actually reapplied, so I don't know. All right, everyone. I don't know who's all watching, but for those of you watching, thank you very much. Y'all stay blessed. We'll see y'all tomorrow. More than likely, we'll be live tomorrow after 3-ish or so, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Central Standard Time. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Peace. Y'all stay blessed.